اهلا بكم معانا شباب كايرو دار. النهارده ان شاء الله باذن الله هنشتغل زي ما حضراتكم عارفين يونت 5 من منهج ثانويه عامه. يونت النهارده يونت جميل، ويمكن معظمنا عارفين الشخصيه اللي هنتكلم عنها. الناس بتشوف افلام كتير وبتشوف افلام اجنبي كتير. هتشوف معانا حتى كلمات الدرس مرتبطه كتير جدا ب الجريمه والقتل والخروج والاحداث الاكشن والحاجات اللي احنا كلنا بنحبها في مصر هنا. نبدا مع بعض في يونت 5. وتعال نشوف الحوار الاول او درس الليسننج. احنا هنقراه وانا بفضل ان احنا ما نترجموش كتير. تعال كده نشوف مع بعض N or M. حوار بين بريزنتر مقدم البروجرام وبروفيسور دون بالترتيب، وهنقرا بس واسمع معايا الساوند او الفويس او الليسننج بتاعنا. Welcome to the book program today. Our subject is the Queen of English crime fiction, Agatha Christie. You may never have read any of her books, but you probably know her name. To tell us more about her name, we have Professor Don from London University. Professor, could you tell us about Agatha Christie's life? Well, Agatha Miller was born in 1890 and was the youngest of 3 children. She was a shy child who was very close to her family. She didn't go to school, but was taught at home by her mother. She started writing at a young age and wrote all her life. Was she only a writer? No. During the First World War, she worked as a nurse, and while she was looking after wounded soldiers, she learned about medicines and poisons, information that was later used in her writing. And when was her first novel written? In 1920, soon after the war ended. I remember reading that Agatha Christie was deeply affected by the defeat of her mother, or by the death of her mother. Can you tell us about that? Oh yes. When her mother died in 1926, Christie disappeared for about some weeks. Nobody knew where she was. Later, she could remember nothing about the week and is thought to have suffered from amnesia. Soon after this, Christie started traveling abroad. Her first journey on the Orient Express train was to Baghdad and the ancient city of Ur. On her second trip, she met the archaeologist Max Malone, whom she later married. She became very interested in archaeology and worked with her husband on the excavations around Iraq. It's reported that she cleaned and repaired some of the things that were found herself. Some of her books are based on her travels to these countries, aren't they? Yes, including famous novels like Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and Death Comes at the End, a dark story of a family in ancient Egypt. And she continued writing on her life. She continued writing all her life, didn't she? Yes, she did. In all, she wrote 80 crime stories, many of which were turned into films or theater plays. Her most famous play is The Mousetrap, which was first performed in 1952. Since then, the play has been performed without a break and is the longest running play in the world. That's incredible! Yes, it is. Her best novel was published in over 100 countries and is translated into over lots of languages. Agatha Christie died ages 85 in 1976. ده الليسننج بتاع الدرس بتاع يونت 5. في بعض الحاجات احنا بنزودها بنقللها شويه علشان نغير ونخليك انت تكون متابع. لازم تبقى alert منتبه للكلام اللي بيتقال. تعالوا بعد كده بعد ما نخلص الليسننج نشوف هناخد ايه.